Hello, everybody. Here we are one day before Christmas Eve. Still, the Advent candles are lit, and soon we'll light the Christmas Eve Advent candle. There are names. Do you know what your name means? My name, David, means beloved, so I'm really well named, obviously. And their names in the Bible mean something too. So let's look at some of the names that are in the Christmas story. So the names invite us to consider how the entire operation of God's plan was meant to go. And first of all, the name Zachariah. Zachariah is Elizabeth's husband and the father of John the Baptist. And in Hebrew, his name means God remembers his promises. Zachariah, God remembers his promises. And certainly that's exactly what happens here. God had promised a Messiah, and that's what happens. And one of the things you can do when you see a promise in the Bible is hold on to it, because you know that God never breaks a promise. So God remembers his promises, Zachariah. And that's God remembering his promises throughout the entire Old Testament. The second name is Elizabeth, who is John the Baptist's mother and cousin to Mary. And the Greek variation of the name, Hebrew name, Elisheba, which means God is the absolute faithful one. What a great name. Time and time throughout Scripture, God is remembered as absolutely faithful, one who keeps his promises. The third name is John, which means God is gracious. And certainly God is gracious. And John introduces that graciousness to the world. There is the name of Mary, which Miriam means myrrh, kind of sadness, which is what she experiences as she sees her son die on the cross. But there's one name that we really need to focus on, and it guides the events of everything that's going on in the Bible. Of these four names, this is the most important name because it has everything to do with Jesus' birth. And that name, of course, is Jesus. Jesus means God saves his people. God saves, or salvation. Joshua is the same Hebrew word that Jesus comes from. And so it means God saves his people. And isn't that exactly what Jesus is all about? The angel comes to, and tells us the name shall be Jesus because he shall save his people from their sins. Well, there's a lot in a name. I wonder if you know your name. Do you know what your name means? If you don't, pretty easy to do nowadays. Just Google it, put your name and meaning behind it, and you'll find out what your name means. And then that might help you know more about who you are and what you're to be about. Who knows? Anyway, I think that's a neat thing to remember this day before Christmas, that these names in the Bible are very important, and they have meaning and purpose, and they're telling us something about what God is about in this amazing event that we celebrate as the birth of Jesus, or Christmas. Just want to remind you all that tomorrow, starting about 2, our service will be online and ready for you to use and to watch and listen to. I also want to remind you that tomorrow from 5 to 7, the Methodist Church, our church, the Episcopal Church, and the Christian Church will each have some kind of scene or event going on. Each one will have a hot beverage to share with you. And I hope you'll stop by between 5 and 7. You can either drive by or you can walk by. I hear the weather's going to be a little better tomorrow than it is today. It's kind of cold and windy today, but tomorrow should be better. So I hope you will step out, and if you can't be around people yet, at least be in your car and drive by and take a look. God bless. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, even though maybe you can't be with your family. I hope that you'll have a meaningful Christmas and really focus on the Christ child who comes to save us from ourselves, and is the most amazing event in all the world, maybe next to the resurrection of Jesus Christ. See you tomorrow. God bless. Take care.